guys, and welcome back. Acrylic artist Joni Young, and today I'm going to be showing you exactly how to paint this beautiful lightning streak above the ocean. Here are all the colors you will need today: yellow, pink, blue, black, and white. Now we're first going to begin with our Filbert brush. Let's get it a little bit wet, dry it off slightly, and let's take some Ultramarine Blue and a little bit of white. Mix the two up thoroughly together, loading both sides and then pushing to load that brush. We're going to come in on the top, now this time I'm going to pick up more blue and less white. And I'm just going to softly scumble, lightly pushing my brush down and creating soft circles. Okay, let's pick up some more paint and repeat that process. Now our clouds are going to start right about here, so I'm just going to roughly outline the shape. Nothing too fancy, just a big messy sort of blob right in the middle there. And continue to scumble. I don't want to use too much water. I'd rather go back for more paint at this point if I'm struggling. Simply just because I don't want to dilute the color. I want this to be a very nice, rich, bold color once it dries. And you must be really careful when going back to add more water, because it will dry much different, the color and tone. And I'm just going to pull a line right across, well, about a quarter of the way up from the bottom of the canvas. Pull a line across and repeat that with a little bit more blue. Now notice how I'm applying the blue right on the tip. I'm pushing and letting off, so you've got a nice thick amount to work with right there. So this is our horizon, and then pulling from the edge towards the center on both sides. A few little lines for a reflection and shadow in the water. Now let's take a little bit of white. We've got a bit of blue left over in our brush. And I'm just going to start making little half circles. Let's take some more of that white now. We'll come in right about here. Adding a bit more shadow. This will help the highlights on our clouds really pop out, and all those nice bright highlights. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the water, take some more of that blue, and this time I'm going to leave a little line in between. So we're cutting in again with the blue and leaving some white in between. Now you can't see it very well because I went over it slightly here and didn't leave enough room, so I'm just going to go back. It's a really easy fix. Just add a bit more white there, and as it dries it'll be much easier to do that. Okay, let's wash our brush off now. Okay, so now we're going to switch to some neon yellow and some white. Same brush. Mix the two up really well. With both sides evenly. And I'm going to start just dabbing where I want it to be the very brightest. So this section right here, a little bit up here. And some right down here. Just load my brush, I'm going to push. So I have enough to work with on the tip. Okay, and now I'm going to add the same color in the water for reflection. So you can just dust back and forth. And yellow and the white again on the tip of my brush. Very carefully go across and then washing my brush off. So neon yellow, hot pink, and white to make a light peachy color right here. I'm going to begin adding it to the clouds. Now I picked up a little bit of the blue because it's still wet, so I'm just going to wash my brush off and mix up a little bit more paint this time. I know that's the color that I want, so I'm just going to make more of it now. Have enough to work with on the tip of my brush. How pretty is that when it overlaps over top of that blue? Makes a really pretty violet color. Okay, reload my brush again. See how I'm pushing with the tip to get all that paint on the very end of my brush so I have lots to work with. I'm going over part of the yellow slightly. Mix up some more. Equal parts of each color right now. Don't forget it's going to dry darker. Now there's going to be a mountain area in here, so I'm not going to worry too much about adding paint down there, because I'm just going to be covering it up anyways. let's take some more. Push. Okay, now let's wash your brush off. And let's take just straight hot pink. Loading both sides. My brush is slightly wet, but it's not dripping. Just have enough water in there so that the paint can flow nicely. I'm going to come in, softly scumble. There's a lot of shadow on this side, and it's a deep, rich, purpley color, and it's such a gorgeous, almost electric color that I don't want to just use purple. I want to build it up and create my own using the ultramarine and this hot pink. And I'm just going to wash my brush out a little bit in case I picked up any yellow at all. Again, take more of that hot pink, and let's continue building that up. So here are some little cloud ridges. So I'm just going to keep picking up pink. Now this will dry darker, and it'll be a really, really beautiful deep purple. And I'm going to start bringing in some more of the ultramarine blue now. And I'm going to hold my brush like this. I'm going to put my fingers over the top, my thumb on the bottom, right here, so I can have a little bit more control. I'm going to very lightly come right in between all the little ins and outs of this cloud. A little bit more. Where I want it to be the darkest. So remember, the more shadow you have, the more light you'll have. So if you want a really, really striking painting, you've got to be more bold with your contrast. Again, I'm not going to worry about this section because it's going to be a little bit of a mountain range there. So as you can see, I'm using this Filbert brush for most of the painting right now. It's a nice brush to have. It's so versatile. You can use it for a lot. Just picking up a little bit of white now and mixing it carefully with the blue. Just want to have a few little peaks of highlights here that are a bit smokier looking. A bit in there. Just want to add a little bit to the water. Okay, now, actually I was gonna wash my brush off, but I'm just gonna take some pink and mix that up together. So we've got blue, white, and pink right now. And let's start creating and building up more shadow on these clouds. So I'm just tapping where I want more of that shadow to be using the tip of my brush. It's the perfect half moon, half circle shape for this. A little bit more there on the ridge of my brush. So I'm going to just take a little bit of water here, just because I don't want the paint to start drying out in my brush, ruining it. Okay, so it's a little bit more in shadow on this side. So I'm just going to carefully scumble over. So look what happens when I push firmly with the brush. Then you get a bit of a darker color that's back further in your brush from the previous colors that you've added to it. Okay, this is looking pretty good so far. I'll wash my brush out really well. Get all that out from the back of the brush. It's one of my favorite brushes and I really don't want to ruin this one. Okay, now I want to take some pink and add it to the water. So now I'm going to start, because I'm going to just glaze over here, go over all of the colors. Oh, I need a tiny bit of water. Oh, look how pretty that is. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, taking just, oh, see, I've got too much water on my brush, so it's okay, just go back, dab it off on the towel, grab some more of that pink, and let's start from this side. So lining it up on the edge, pulling and flicking. And then lightly back and forth. Now you should wait for your blue to be all dry for this. So that's why I did the blue first and the yellow and then waited for it to dry and came back to it. So you see how the pink overlapping the yellow creates that soft peach color? And I'm leaving just a little bit of that yellow right there, and I'll come back to it and add some more when we do our lightning streak reflection in the water. But now let's pick a few spots where we want to add some more of that hot pink and really make this painting pop. Okay, and I think I'll add a little bit of yellow this time. So I'm making a bright neon orange color. I'm using 2 neon colors so I can make another neon color with those. I'm always disappointed with how the camera does not show how bright and beautiful these neons are. I wish you guys could see them. Okay, I'm going to take some more And we'll start coming in over here. I'm leaving the bright yellow right in here. This is where our lightning bolt is going to be coming, or lightning streak is going to be coming out of. Mix them over and take some more of that color with some yellow right on the tip, hot pink and yellow, and let's just add a little indication right here, and a few flecks of neon yellow and pink right there. Let's make some more of that color again, and just add a few ripples of this color in the water for a nice reflection. Now I am going to add a little bit of white to this because I know it's going to dry darker and it won't show up very well. So white, yellow, and pink. Okay, let's go ahead. Pull, pull. You need your brush to keep that nice shape. Otherwise it won't work very well. So I'm pulling back and forth really quick, flattening that brush, and then having a nice ridge of paint on the tip to work with. Now I'm going to take Cobalt Blue, just a tiny bit of water, and the paint that's still left in my brush, I've got a little bit of yellow and pink. And I'm going to do a few shadows of ripples in between. Some can be skinnier and some will be a little bit thicker. And then let's take more of the Cobalt Blue, and right on the edge here, line it up on the horizon and just flick. Because it's somewhat darker in shadow on this side. I want to take some more blue now, and so this second line that we have here, we're going to do a reflection. So we're taking our Filbert brush again, and right to this line where we have the highlight, we're going to stop right there, and pushing with the tip, right from that line, loading my brush up again when I need to, pushing and tapping. You'll know when you need to go back for more. Make sure we have a good amount on there to work with, because we're going to switch over to our flat brush while this is still wet. So you're going to want to make sure that you're ready to do that. So if you need to practice this ahead of time on a piece of paper or another old canvas or something, do that. Okay, so now right away I'm going to switch to my flat brush, getting a bit of water on there, and I'm going to pull and flick, pull and flick. So I know I need a little bit of water on my brush. There we go. Pull, flick. I could have done this with even a little bit less water on it, but that's okay, it still looks pretty. So right about here, where it's next to that reflection in the water, we're just gonna kind of take the corner of our brush here and just wiggle and then pull out and then down. Pull out lines and then down. So because the mountain isn't completely straight across, it's going to have peaks and valleys, right? So should your reflections. So some of them will be shorter and some of your reflection lines will be longer. Alright, and back to our Filbert brush. It's washed off and dried. I'm going to take some more of this hot pink. If you guys can see this, the lighting's not the greatest right now. And I'm going to start tapping over and layering again. So tapping and then smushing in some spots. That way we can get some nice definition and pop of color and shape. And then some soft blended look as well. Come in on this side. Going back for more when you need to. So I'm layering over that smoky blue and making another shade of purple. And I'm going to carefully come in here. And dust over. A little bit more hot pink. And across. Okay, I want more cobalt blue now on the tip of my brush. I really want to make this pop out now, so I'm going to go really dark with this. We want a lot of contrast right here. Hope my hand's not in the way too much and you guys are able to see this. I'm trying a different angle of filming today. Oh, this looks so cool. I'm really liking it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And of course, all these colors together are so pretty. Now we're just gonna very lightly pull and sweep, pull, sweep. And scumble the rest of the paint right out of that brush. Some more blue in there. And let's add some more shadow in here I know it's going to dry just a little bit darker, and I want to have more of a smoky, deep shadow color. So I just add a little bit of white to the Ultramarine Blue here, wiggle it out and push, and have it on the ridge with a filbert. So just tap in those little half circles. That's why this brush is nice, it just does the work for you. Just let that brush do the work for you. And soften a little bit. Don't bring it down too far though. I'm going to pick up a little bit more white and add it to the blue. So more white than blue ratio. And just a very soft reflection in the water, a few of those. And I'm going to wash my brush out now. And I want to make that smoky purple color again. So blue, pink, and white. And I'm carefully going to come in here and darken this area up. I think I need just a little bit more blue. So soft little circles. It's just too, this is where our lightning bolt's going to come out of, and it's just too bright still. That lightning streak is not going to show up and look dramatic enough unless we create some more shadow here. Okay, so hot pink, a little bit of white, and blue, a little bit less white this time. Push it on the ridge of my brush again. And carefully come in and create a few more little peaks. Very lightly this time. I want these to be softer. And I'm going to turn my brush upside down. For a few in that direction. Some more pink and blue. Just create a little bit more detail on this side. And maybe just a little bit more contrast right in there. mix up a bit of blue with that cobalt, more blue than white, and I want to wipe the excess off on a towel and very lightly have just a little bit of light peeking through here, very subtly. Maybe there's some light back there where the storm is trying to break through, the sky is trying to clear up. Okay, I think we're ready for some mountains now. So I'm just going to shake up my black, and this is just dollar store black paint. Using this Filbert brush again, it's clean. Scooping up some black paint right on the tip. I'm going to start coming in, creating a line. On and slightly above the first blue horizon line that we did. Okay, and then I'm going to get more paint on the tip of my brush, wiggle, separate those bristles. And I'm going to line my brush up. Start wiggling and pulling. These mountains are far away, so they're not going to be very big. Now pay attention to how far you did your reflections in the water. So right in this area, they're longer, so that means the mountain comes up higher there. So we'll go back for more paint, very lightly, and then go up and down and up, and then up a little bit higher right there because my reflection came down lower. We'll fill this in nicely. And then right underneath the second line, use a little bit of black, whatever's left over in your brush, and then do a light. I'm going to go back to let's go back to our flat brush, take a tiny bit of water, a little bit of black paint, and this time we're going to do just shorter flicks. We still want to have that blue peeking through. I'm just going to come over top of part of this line on this side because it's in more of a shadow. It's all about what's going on, drawing us into the center of this painting. So there's more of a vignette around the edges of the canvas. Okay, now I'm going to take some blue and a little bit of black and mix them together. More blue than black though. And I'm going to just start adding a bit more. I'm not going right down to the mountain. I'm leaving a little bit of light behind there. I'm going to take some more, mix those two colors up together again. For part of the cloud this time, and then blend it in softly and wipe some of it off. And come in from the edge. Okay, now let's switch to our liner brush and get it a little bit wet. I'm gonna roll it in titanium white. Get a nice amount to work with on the tip of my brush, and then See what I did? Rolled it in the white and then pulled in out with the yellow. So I'll do a nice bright area right here, almost like a diamond shape. There, there, there. And then I'm going to just roll and twist and pull the brush. I'm not thinking too much about where I'm putting it. I'll put another one right there. And then a bit more yellow with the white. Right there. And in the water. I'm going to add a little bit of it behind the darkest parts of the cloud. And very lightly pull a few more lines and scumble in a little bit. So now I know where I need to come back and add some more shadow to make this really pop out. And I want this to be brighter, so I just took some more, just straight neon yellow. I'm going to come right in and around this peachy pink area. See what a difference that makes? And then a few little streaks here and there. And now the sky is really starting to look lit up. And let's add a little bit in here. So at this point, it's a matter of how much you want to add and how much orange you want to create, how much pink you want to have, or how much purple. Now I'm going to go back and make some more, if I've got any left on here. Yep, I do. This hot pink and blue. And I'm using my flat brush for this because I want to have nice tight lines right up against that lightning streak. Just a little bit of water on my brush. And add a little bit more shadow. Let's grab some more hot pink here. I just love that pop of hot pink. And I've got a little bit of a turquoise happening here that I never planned on. And what would Bob Ross say? Happy little accidents. I'm just going to leave that there because I really like it. little bit of water. It's just not popping out enough. So I'm just taking watered down blue and a liner brush and doing this very lightly and carefully. So I've got water and I'm just loading the brush and getting most of it right on the tip of my brush, because that's the only part of the brush that you want to be working with right now. But don't worry if you accidentally go over top of your lightning streak. You can just, which I did a little bit, I'm just going to go over top with some more white. I'm going to reload with white. I've got lots on the tip of my brush to work with. And I'm going to try this again. And that's showing up much better. Bit more hot pink. I'm going to slightly go over the bottom here. So I got a little bit carried away with my lightning. Fine tune this mountain a little bit more. Just a little bit more of a shadow in there, and I think we're going to call this one done. And thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you really like this one. Like, comment, and share, and please hit that subscribe button. Look for a list of all the materials you'll need for this painting today in the description box below, as well as links to other videos you might like and tutorials. Happy painting, you guys. We'll see you next time.